So first man is walking around the earth, and he's the first man on the earth. So it's all new to him. He doesn't know what water is. He doesn't know what trees are. He doesn't know what dirt is. So he's got all these questions on his mind. As he's wandering around the woods, he finds the Creator. And the Creator is there. The Creator is just finishing the left wing of a monarch butterfly. Designing it, you know. And first man comes up and says, Creator, why am I here? And the Creator says to him, well, go to your grandmother. Your grandmother will give you some answers. And hearing this, first man says, I have a grandmother? And he didn't even know what grandmother was, but it just felt so good. Something about it just felt right. And so he said, okay, I'll go to my grandmother. How do I get to my grandmother? And so the Creator says, well, he points this way. You go this way, and you're going to cross over a stream, and then on the other side of the stream, you'll see your grandmother's cabin. So first man is like, I don't even know what a stream is. What's a stream? It doesn't even matter. I'll figure it out when I get there. So he's walking through the forest, and he comes upon the stream. And in the distance, he sees his grandmother's cabin. And he's really so excited when he sees it. He starts running towards the cabin. He goes into the stream and starts floundering around in the water, splashing and drowning nearly, until he realized that that was a bad idea. He comes back on the near side of the bank and says, well, how am I supposed to get across this? So he enters the water more slowly this time. Tries to kind of wade across, but no, it doesn't work. He starts flailing, water starts to go in his mouth, into his nose, he starts coughing, and he comes back up and says, well, okay, I'm going to have to figure this out. He's sitting on the bank, trying to figure this out, and going down the bank, going down the river, in the flow, in the current, is a bird sitting on a log, down the river. And that gives him a brilliant idea. He's going to build a raft. But before he builds a raft, he grabs the log and tries to do exactly what the bird did. Takes the log, puts it in the water, it floats. Big success. He gets onto the log sinks. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe if I get a whole bunch of logs together, he thinks to himself that he can make it across the river. He gets a whole bunch of logs, lines them up next to each other, they're floating, he gets on top, it remains floating, another big success, and as he starts moving across the river, the logs start to separate. One goes this way, and one goes that way, and one goes that way. And he falls into the river, and repeats the same process that he's done 4 times now. So, the next step is that he takes these same logs, puts them together, takes a vine off of a tree nearby and lashes together a raft. He gets on the raft and floats across the river. He doesn't make it directly across the river. The current takes him down a little bit because he didn't think about using a paddle or a pole or anything like that. But he is the first man after all, and this is all new to him. And making it across the river was a huge success. So he walks up to his cabin, to his grandmother's cabin, knocks on the door, and hears a voice that says, "Oh, come in." She had been expecting him. So first man comes in and says, "Hi, grandmother," and gives her a big hug. He didn't even know what hugs were, but he gave her a big hug. And grandmother says to him, "Well, I know why you've come." First man says, "How do you know why I've come?" His grandmother says, "Because I'm your grandmother. I know these things." She says, "You've come here because you want to know why you're here. And I'm here to tell you that you must always follow your heart. Just like you've done today. You followed your heart to me, to this cabin, because you knew you had to come here. In your heart, you knew what you had to do. However, you needed to use your mind to get here. and to problem solve for you. And that's the way it should be. Your mind should follow behind your heart. It should never be the other way around. Your mind should never lead the way. Always follow your heart and use your mind as a tool. And that's the story of First One.